Jerome Powell absolutely destroyed our markets after the FOMC meeting. We had, of course, Middle Eastern tensions start to ramp up that have pulled markets back. But today, guys, we're going to be looking over, has Bitcoin bottomed? And more importantly, what happens if a country were to put all of the money they are printing into Bitcoin? We have incredibly bullish news coming out of these markets today, guys. Of course, today's studio is sponsored by Arculus, the greatest self-custody wallet on the planet. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, and shout out to all the new members on our YouTube channel here at Discover Crypto. You could see that this morning, DZ dropped an amazing video. SEC pumps these altcoins, huge loss against, of course, Worlds. What is happening here, DZ?
The whole types thing, but that was the one where I break it down in Satoshis and I give you a really detailed analysis of fair, and I think it's going to be a very accurate analysis for these four altcoins where they go this cycle. But I got a message, I got something from the markets right here. Now, if you got a kid, close their eyes here because this is directly for the markets. Oh! Sorry, folks. That was a little much.
A big F you to the markets and an F you to, of course, those that are trying to pass negative crypto legislation, guys. Of course, you saw yesterday's political video, guys. We're going to be doing a little bit more of the reactionary content as we help fight back and, of course, be vocal about who we need to be, of course, watching for in the upcoming elections. Because if we do not choose wisely, crypto can die and will die in the United States. And you guys will be happy with your CBDCs. But no matter what, guys, Bitcoin sitting at, of course, $64,350, now $250 behind DZ's head. I don't know. They did not like our jokes this morning. I guess Bitcoin's crashing a little bit. $3,165 Ethereum. We have Solana here at $167. XRP being stable as ever, looking good at that 60-cent level. And, of course, Dogecoin and Toncoin following the rest of these top 10 markets, guys. Today, though, okay, there is a new trend. Markets fight the bearish action. Or the action in the markets. It is cat-themed tokens. So I'm going to actually click on cat-themed. I have not seen this. It's brand new on CoinGecko. Ouch, they're trending down. So yeah, PopCat here, MogCoin, Cat and Dogs World, Purr. Wow. Mitchie and Wen all down here today. But let's look at the top movers here, guys. We're looking at Aave, Helium, Fast Token, because we ain't slow here. Whitebit, Tether. Oh dear, Tether is one of the top movers today, which does go to show that we have money and profits being taken and moving over into, of course, your stable coins. Now, guys, before you get scared, before you panic sell, before you listen to the bears that crawl out of the gutter and come back to life for the first time in over a month on Twitter and crypto YouTube, make sure that you guys pay attention to what we're going to cover today, of course, with liquidations. You're going to want to stick around because it is looking very, very bullish here. The top losers, DZ. Dog with
memes. That. Yeah, you got memes leading the charge here. I mean, Dog with Hat, Pepe, Floki, and Bonk. All of those meme coins are down over 10%. And also kind of matching what they're down for the week. But for meme coins to only lose 10% for the week might actually be better than no. It's Mantle, Say, Starknet. So there's actually some other projects that have been had a worse week.
Yeah, I 100% agree. We have Bob from accounting saying, damn it, Josh, don't say Bitcoin will die. This is our last chance to make generational wealth. And that is exactly why, guys, we're getting more vocal. I mean, it was really cool to be told directly from Vivek Ramaswamy to post more content around that, guys. We're still going to be doing the live streams. We're going to be still doing amazing crypto content. But yes, guys, if we do see certain parties win moving into the next 4 years, it might mean we're never going to get that alt season. It might be delayed quite a long time. And look, guys, I want to be on a beach in 4 years. I'm ready to retire. I know that sounds crazy, but 8 years in crypto feels like, I don't know. How do you guys feel?
It's the years? Titanic meme. It's been 84 years and it's been 2 cycles.
And we've been waiting on it. But yeah, of course, the meme coin's taking the largest hit here with ENS and Jasmy token. And so, look at this though, 15%, 11%, 11%. There have been some pretty hefty pullbacks in these markets today. So before we cover, of course, what altcoins we're going to be looking to accumulate, because yes, guys, we did tell you if Bitcoin were to get rejected off that $70,000 level, we even covered this a lot on yesterday's stream, altcoins are going to get hit a lot harder. They're going to see 20, 30, 40% dips. And those are generally the chance for you to, of course, accumulate. Check out what Simply Bitcoin posted here, though. Great YouTuber, great channel over on Twitter. I got to unzoom the screen here for you guys. This is, from 2 years ago, but there's a few good clips here expressing what would happen if the first country ends up buying Bitcoin. Take a listen.
Bitcoin is the future, and you probably want to get on board early. There's an interesting thing that could happen sometime in the next couple of years, which is one country with a fiat currency just starts printing the shit out of their fiat currency and buying Bitcoin with it. And if you're the first one to do that, then you can accumulate a massive stack of Bitcoin before everyone else catches on.
This one's not complicated. Now, let's say you're an indebted country. You're actually in debt. You're running a deficit. You owe a lot of money and you're struggling. Your interest rates are high and you don't know what to do. Well, here's your strategies. Are you a normie or a 10%er or a maxi, double maxi, or triple maxi? The maxi is you put a third of your treasury into this. A double maxi is 65%. And a triple maxi is put all your treasury into it and start issuing debt. The subtext of this is the first country to buy Bitcoin by issuing its own currency wins.
Can I share something real quick? There's somebody who's been saying this for over a decade. And it's someone I say is one of the smartest people, I think, in the industry, one of the smartest people in Silicon Valley. Naval Ravikant, if you're a small country that would like to be the richest per capita, buy up all the Bitcoin you can and announce adoption. You're welcome. Look at the date. January 2014.
Well, guess what would happen? Do you know what the price of Bitcoin would be if a country did decide to finally start printing their money and buying Bitcoin with it?
It's almost like it's a video, folks, that I did. So don't front run the number. We did a video. It's the if every country. In fact, I'll pull it up because we just changed the title.
From Michael Saylor? Did you get Michael Saylor's quote in it?
No, actually, I do the math. I actually do real math. I don't worry about the guy wearing a black button up talking about granite in Manhattan. I'm doing math. I'm looking on chain. I'm doing game theory. And then, we really come up with a very, very strong price prediction, I would say. So you go here, you click on videos. And folks, remember, if you're watching mobile and you want to give us a like, you got to turn your phone sideways and then you'll see it pop up. Go ahead, give us a like here. But it is the video right here. If USA buys 5% of Bitcoin as a thumb, what happens if every country buys Bitcoin? Folks,
well, he's got some amazing math in there, but I do have different math I'm going to show you from Michael Saylor.
Michael Saylor moon math. I like moon math.
I got to show the moon math.
Let's listen to the moon math. I got to show the
moon math. I will say, though, yours was much more realistic, so you guys should definitely check out that video. But here is some hopium sauce that you can inject directly into that bullishness.
It's my macro Bitcoin forecast. It's 21 years. Goes out to the year 2045. What do I think will happen? Well, I've got a bear case and a bull case, but what I think will happen is that 55% ARR goes to 50%, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. It's between 50 and 20. It'll gradually decelerate till it's growing about twice as fast as the S&P index. And at that rate, Bitcoin's $13 million a coin in the year 2045. 13 million. It could be a 3 million bear case. It could be a 49 million bull case. But what is Bitcoin? 7% of the world's assets then.
What do you think about that? I think bear case of 3 million in 21 years, a bull case of $49 million.
Now we're talking about some real moon math here. If Bitcoin is $3 million, what is the average U.S. home price, you think?
Look, all I know is that I have a Bitcoin. So don't prey on my downfall here. Chat, what do you think? What are your Bitcoin price predictions? Is Michael Saylor smoking some crazy, I don't even know what, fentanyl juice? Or is he, actually doing some math that actually makes sense here? In 21 years, do you believe Bitcoin can hit between $3 and $49 million? Now, that is a very wide range. I'll say this.
I'm a DCA tomorrow, DCA Friday. DCA is the way. Now that we're in a little bit of just a bearish period with altcoins, I got some on my radar. It's one that TJ pointed out, zero. I hold zero. You can buy it on Coinbase. I almost want to buy Bitcoin instead, like a boring nerd.
Yeah, it's hard to not want to buy Bitcoin right now when you're seeing all the stuff that's going on. I will say 49 million sounds obviously very optimistic to me, but 3 million in 21 years, I don't think is outside the realm of possibility whatsoever. I do agree kind of with where you were heading, DZ. The average home price is probably, north of $1 million by that point. Cause really what we're talking about is the value of the dollar going down and the value of Bitcoin maintaining over the next 21 years, which I think that will absolutely happen. So
Discover Politics goes, home price would be like $6 million. Love the name, my man. But, yeah, I mean, it sounds like neither of you are from California, because I think the average price of a home is $1 million in the middle of the ghetto.
Buying like
nationwide.
I know you guys saw that nationwide.
Is pushing up towards 500K, I think, like last I saw.
It was like 490 or something through the median.
Probably, it would be a couple $1 million by then, unless some dramatic things changes. Now, that being said, a lot can change in 21 years. I think that is part of why some of these people do these predictions. It's very easy to go out far enough to where, by the time it gets there, people, you have plenty of time to revise or change. But
who will remember this clip?
I think, people have been talking about $1 million Bitcoin for a long time. That's inevitable. I do think given enough time, $2 million, $3 million per Bitcoin will happen. So if you can buy and hold strategy, and this is again where it comes down to, like, don't sell your Bitcoin. If you can accumulate it over time, like DZ saying, DCA, you will be very happy as long as enough time passes.
As of second quarter of this year, median home price is $412,000, which is actually a decrease from the previous quarter.
Interesting.
Huh. Wow, look at that. House affordability. Yes.
Well, they're not going to want to have bad financial news given the climate right now and given who's in, potentially running in November. I'll go ahead and say it. The media is not going to want to put out your home prices are crashing as Kamala Harris is trying to win.
I would agree here. You got something too, TJ?
No, I was just taking my headphones off.
No, you're all good. Well, Elijah Boom, speaking of, price predictions here, we have Elijah Boom, a 40 under 40 on Forbes here, GWR in AI and robotics, crypto and Bitcoin investor, crypto expert, 700,000 nearly followers on Twitter here. Believes to be that we've seen Bitcoin now bottom here. It's time for some big green candles, and displayed this chart earlier today on Twitter, or Crypto X here. Bottomed in, of course, on the 19th, bottomed on the 26th, and could be showing that we're about to witness a triple bottom on Bitcoin's price. Now, I want to hear from chat, guys. Type 1 in chat if you believe Bitcoin is bottomed. Type 2 in chat if you think we're absolutely about to crash, like, insanely here very, very soon. So type 1 in chat if you think it's bottomed. Type 2 if you believe Bitcoin has not bottomed yet.
Well, I found the trend line that they're talking about. It actually goes back even further than that picture would imply. The picture just only has this period right here, kind of find the bottom, but it was actually the top over there. There's a little bit of strength with this trend line, but to me, you really got to look at the larger macro picture, which is the trend, the parallel channel that we're trading within. Because wow, look at that red candle. I made the prediction, folks. I said we're going to test the middle of the channel, and then we're going to go back up. We'll see if it plays out. Maybe DZ Stramus is going to be right again.
What's the price of that channel?
If it hits, let's just say it hits in 3 days, about a candle's worth, 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle, you're looking at 61,500.
Ooh, so about to fill that futures gap. That's between 68 and 61K.
Folks, Johnny was talking to me, are you bearish? I saw some bearish thing. It's at 50K. The bottom of the channel is pretty close to 50K. It's at 53K. So you could easily get a little scam wick that kind of peeks its head down to the bottom, touch 50K, get everybody racked who is longing, and then Bitcoin really starts its parabolic move up.
Well, there is a lot of really cool things to look at the liquidation levels and, of course, our charts today. First and foremost, guys, you guys know how this works. But you want to buy in the red and sell in the green, and man, we are more red than ever. We're looking at a negative 20, I'm going to guess, negative $20 billion delta spread. And all you guys need to know, if you guys are brand new to this channel, when you're around negative 10 is when you look for a bit of a reversal. So we're looking at a negative $22 billion delta spread, which, yes, in fact, does start to say, we are more than likely near a bottom. So I love seeing this liquidation massively oversold to the downside. It's kind of like your RSI, just showing that, you're way oversold on the market conditions. And of course, when we look at the heat map is going to be the next product I want to show you guys here. There is really only liquidations to the upside at this point. So we're looking at the 7-day right now. Liquidations open up above us at 70,500 and of course 67,200. And when you zoom out to that monthly, I mean, this really just starts to show its true colors here. Mass liquidation still at $70,000. So even though we ate through some of it, 68K, you guys in chat here, I could literally say, type the W's in chat when we were at 53K. And I was like, guys, massive liquidations above us. We were going to pull towards $70,000. We 100% did. And now what we want to watch is going to be a consolidation at these zones, which we are starting to see here on that liquidation map. You can see that we're bouncing between two prices. Of course, guys, if you don't know how this works, the green side, when the green side is higher than the red side, it is bullish. When the red side is, higher than the green side, that would mean we are bearish. So right now, markets are extremely bullish on the daily and even the 7-day, which could show we are about to witness an actual bottoming on Bitcoin's price action.
Gary the Lizard, Bank of England cut by 25 basis points just a few hours ago. Let's go slowly but surely. So some breaking news right there.
He was claiming he got his prediction on the FOMC from yesterday right. He just had the wrong nation, wrong nation, wrong central bank. But
we're expecting the 25 basis points in September. Obviously, Jerome Powell. You guys were watching the stream last night. Can be very vague with the information, can't confirm or deny that he's going to be doing so. But when you see all these other, countries starting to cut their interest rates, it's generally not too far behind for, of course, the United States to follow suit with that as well. So, of course, guys, very bullish here on the charts. Love to see the liquidation showing some strength. Speaking of strength, male fighters absolutely demolishing women fighters in the Olympics here. Absolutely sad to see here. Angela Carini, blue female, abandons fight against Imain Khalif, red male, a few minutes into the fight here. People that have trained, women that have trained their whole life. This is going viral on Twitter right now. Curious to let you guys, see what you guys think in the chats. Let's get a 1 in chat if you think men should fight in, of course, the Olympics against women. 2 in chat if you think you should not have biological males fighting against women in the Olympics because they train their entire life. Of course, they have to forfeit because somebody's going to get killed in this, dude. Somebody is going to, it is going to be a bad moment.
We don't know, but she may have got her nose broke.
Got her nose broke?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
We don't know just yet.
Well, the picture you can see is hecka swollen.
Yeah, it's, let me see. I think there's one hit and then she just quits. She goes, nope. Yep. That's it. There's nope.
Yeah, the entire fight was 43 seconds.
Not even worth it here. Yeah, that is insanely sad to see, but they're allowing that at the Olympics here, and there's now multiple men that are winning in women's sports and taking gold medals home and everything, and these are men that obviously would have lost in their
I think
category.
Maybe it's a radical thought. If you have an XY chromosome, you shouldn't compete in women's. But that's just me. I know it sounds wild.
A lot of twos here.
There's a place you draw a line, and normally I wouldn't speak on this. There's 2 places where I think it's very important to draw the line. It's sports and prisons. So penitentiaries, sports, you just have to maybe have an adult conversation at a certain point. And that's where I would say you have to have an adult conversation.
Yeah, they're trying to pin it as she was a woman born with very high testosterone. And it's like very clear, there's XY chromosomes.
It's XY.
It is what it is. But speaking of, men that control markets, right? Maybe that's a controlled fight there. Here's Jerome Powell, Powell coming out. Yeah, this is the man that controls the world right now, guys. Waiting to hear nothing. That's the most expensive day afternoon. Jerome Powell is straight up the most powerful man.
He is a rapscallion. He is a rapscallion, that's for sure.
So little jokes just to bring back that humor from that complete depression of the Olympics this year, which is it's just so sad to see how, dude, it is.
I support all the. I was going to say I support all the athletes. I support most of the athletes, and a lot of people are talking about boycotting it. I'd hate to see that. There's a lot of Americans and people from other countries. They're working their whole lives for this moment on the world stage, and so all those people doing it fair, I applaud them.
Identifying is fine, but genetics, decade, what? Yeah, I know exactly. I agree with chat. Seems to be all on the same page.
I think we're
100%
agreement.
Well, breaking news: Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks after interest rate decision. Here are the highlights of the entire event here. Got that carbonation to me at 21 hours. The Fed left interest rates constant as expected. Now, Fed President Jerome Powell is holding a press conference. Here are the most important excerpts from Powell's statement yesterday, guys. 1, we've made significant progress on both goals in the last 2 years. We are determined to return inflation to the 2% target. We maintain our restrictive stance. The pace of spending has slowed but remains robust. Latest indicators show that the economy continues to expand at a solid pace, and about another dozen reasons why markets are a bit bullish. The Fed has hinted that it is starting to lower interest rates from mid-September, given the decline in inflation and cooling trends in the labor market. A new report published on Wednesday provided new evidence that wage growth is slowing, strengthening the argument for a potential rate cut here. Now, what's going to be really important is going to be the Fed minutes, which are released in, I believe, 2 weeks. So make sure you guys, of course, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're on Twitter or CryptoX. Make sure you guys hit that repost button, comment down below, and hit the bookmark to help us out with these algorithms, guys. Appreciate you guys all from watching from every single channel here, guys. DC, if you take the next, actually, now I got a video here. So Jerome Powell, a reduction in our policy rate could be on the tables as soon as the next meeting in September. Here's a 21-second clip of Jerome Powell confirming this very bullish stance on the market.
If that test is met, a reduction in our policy rate could be on the table as soon as the next meeting in September. So you asked why not today, and I would just say, again, that the broad sense of the committee is that we're getting closer to the point at which it will be appropriate to reduce our policy rate, but that we're not quite at that point yet.
Yeah, all I know, guys, is I want to be in Bitcoin before they start reducing or changing those rate cuts here. Bitcoin tumbles below $65,000 post FOMC as Middle East tensions flare. The price action happened as Iran's leadership reportedly ordered retaliatory attacks against Israel here, increasing concerns about broader conflict in the Middle East. What do you got for us here, DZ?
And I put a poly market where I want to say, TJ, I don't know if you recall, was it 85% yesterday or 83, 84%? I want to say we are now up a couple percentage points. Yeah. September 18th, the markets are firmly in agreement. We are definitely going to get that. I wouldn't even say 13% of people don't think it's going to happen. I think 13% of people are just trying to make a leverage bet with crypto because you know what? That Polygon burned a hole in their wallet. That's all that is.
It's coming. That rate cut's coming. And I think, but you were about to cover there, Josh, about what happened yesterday with those tensions flaring. I think that's really what caused the price to go down. It was around the same time as the FOMC meeting. I don't really see that as being too bearish. What I saw him say basically lined up with everything that was expected to be said. We're not cutting today, but I wouldn't say a guarantee, but it's almost inevitable that cut's coming in September. I don't think we'll see 2% inflation ever again. I think they'll eventually come out and say, oh, we can live with 3 or 4% or 3.5% or 2, something above 2%. They're not going to say it anytime soon, but they're preparing the people to be used to inflation. And it's kind of like what you talked about at the top of the show. When you're using when you're printing your currency as a means of economic, I'm trying to figure out the right word, battle, I guess. I think we are going to see a lot of nations do what Michael Saylor's talking about, or are already doing it, printing and accumulating things. They used to print it and accumulate gold. Now they're going to print it and accumulate Bitcoin. And I think we're going to continue to see money printing. It's not. I'll
say no. They are definitely weaponizing the currency, but the more you weaponize the currency, the more you start cutting people's hands with it. And they're like, you know what? I don't want to keep handling this thing that keeps biting me and cutting me and making me bleed.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot at risk here, and this is again why I've been covering a lot more politics because it 100% matters. And guys, we're at this point, we're not fighting for just freedom and anti-censorship policies, but of course, you can see what's happening in the Olympics. I mean, the clear status and the clear path of regulation and ideas from certain parties are not going to be benefiting us in this next 4 years. And so, whether or not Israel is what takes us to a World War III, what we do know is that the conflicts that are erupting over the last 4 years are getting us closer and edging us closer to that more and more each and every single day. And seeing these retaliations with, Prime Minister of, Israel going against, of course, the United States saying, stand down, stop progressing these fights. Like, these are forever wars. Like, you're not going to win this. Like, these are going to be detrimental to our markets and conditions and livelihoods and innocent lives, civilians, guys. If you guys look at the protests, there's, way more civilians than there are government officials that are saying, they want peace. They want to end these wars. And so, you got to very clearly look at who's incentivized to pursue these wars. And in a lot of these markets, it's going to be military industrial complex companies. And there's nothing to argue against that. You can't dispute that. And so that is what we're facing coming into November, guys, is realize what's happening in our markets and realize what's going to happen to our markets if we continue to progress down this path. And what I'm saying from this, guys, self-custody won't exist in the United States. Bitcoin and crypto, they don't care who, of course, is elected, but it 100% impacts regulation, entrepreneurs, and people like you guys in this audience, us in this room, on who is elected, because that may or break us being forced to move out of the states. So just keep that into mind here, guys, and that is why markets are so uncertain. Even though stock markets and NASDAQ are doing well.
Well, actually, I was going to say, there was a question in the chat that said, oh, if it hit Bitcoin, then why not the stock market? Go ahead real quick. One of you pull up
I'm pulling
S&P,
up Dow Jones Industrial
and one
Average.
of you pull up NASDAQ, because they're not doing, like, I was just looking at it, and they're both...
Yeah, losing 1% is like crypto losing 5%.
Yeah, boom. There. What is that, the NASDAQ? Or
that's
the
Dow Jones Industrial Average.
Yeah, so that's the daily on that one.
NASDAQ, that's what we're going to...
Yeah, NASDAQ also down almost 1% today.
After like 800-point gains yesterday, they're more volatile than crypto right now.
Yeah, so pull those up, and we got a couple.
NASDAQ's down 1% as well.
Yeah, Lisa, you got it. Yeah, so it's not isolated to just Bitcoin, but also we had another question in here. I lost it. Travis Evans, at what price does Bitcoin become a no-brainer? I've got my number, but I mean, again, I think with what the ETFs are doing, it's a good time to be accumulating it. But real quick, what do you got? I say a no-brainer for Ethereum is like if it gets under 3K, it's a smash buy.
Yes.
If it's 2,800,
What about
2,900
Bitcoin for you? Under 60K?
No, we're talking Ethereum.
Oh.
Yeah, I did some videos where it said, it suggests it could hit like a 28.40, 28.20, 20. I'm smash buying at 2,999.99 cents.
It's a challenge to fall below 300. I mean, or 3,000. There's a lot of people buying at that level, but if it goes anything below that, I think you see major whales scooping it up.
Do you regret not buying more under 1,000? I didn't buy any under 1,000. I think I got some near 1,100, 13. When it went below 1,000, was it about 2 years ago? I kicking myself for not buying more.
Do I regret? I did as much as I could at the time, so it's like I wish I had more capital to buy it at the time. There was a lot going on during those periods, and I was already I've been fully allocated to crypto for a really long time, so it's harder to take advantage. I don't have a lot of fiat coming in that I deal with, but anytime I see those low levels, I mean, same thing. I bought some at 89 when on the COVID crash. It's only, it was probably less than $1,000, but that paid off very, very well. Did I wish I was able to, roll 10 or 20K in at that point? Sure. But I did what I could. And that's what you guys have to remember. If you're at home and you're a viewer and you're trying to change, your economic status with crypto, give yourself time, give yourself grace, because you can only do what you have to work with. And if you do as much as you can with what you have, it's gonna slowly change for you over time, and you just keep playing the cycles, keep staying involved, and it will pay off. Don't beat yourself up for like, man, if I had only leveraged this and sold my house and borrowed from my best friend all at the right time. It's like, yeah, you can, but that's obviously a lot of risk as well, and there's no way you can predict it. But if you see an opportunity and you take as much advantage of it as you can, that's all you really can
Elfin, we have Legolos's cousin here asking us a pretty good question here. How low could Bitcoin go next bear cycle? So I thought last cycle 20K was going to be the bottom, because typically hit the top of the previous cycle. We went a little bit below 20K. We went 25% lower. Nothing crazy. Actually, not even quite.
It's like 17 or right?
Yeah,
where did it bottom?
Yeah, 15.9. So 15,000 would be a 25% reduction. So it's actually like 22%. Bitcoin fell like 22% below my price target. This cycle, for the next bear market, I'm going to go ahead and say I think Bitcoin will probably 2 to 3x its previous low. So I'm kind of like a 30 to 40K, I think, is where we might go. Total bear market bottom. There's going to be some sort of black swan. There'll be some sort of geopolitical. There'll be some sort of U.S. politics. There'll be all these reasons why Bitcoin should be going down, but ultimately it'll just be the miners dumping.
Well, I'll ask you this. My number is going to be based on those ETFs. What was the price that the ETFs launched at? Was that 30? 34? 30?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
That will set the floor, I believe. BlackRock.
That coincides our two numbers there.
Exactly. BlackRock will defend those levels. Josh, do you have a differing opinion, or do you agree?
No, I mean, I'd put it around 30K, but again, it completely depends on elections. And
what do you think
hate
of
that,
Gary?
but it's like if they tax Bitcoin miners 30-40%, then it could force Bitcoin miners out, which would cause something very similar to China. And that's where we'd get from 69 where we're at down to 30,000. But if we get the other side of the administration that adds a strategic reserve, and let's say we go up to 150K Bitcoin, then I would say maybe the bottom would be our previous cycle highs around that. Maybe 60 to 70,000 would be as low as it would go in a bear market.
All right, we got Gary the Lizard with the bearish take. He said Bitcoin could hit 15K 2 bear markets in a row.
Nope.
I say no.
Hard disagree.
I think TJ probably brought up the best point. The ETFs came in. BlackRock doesn't want it to go lower than what they were able to front run it.
I mean, and we can check here in chat, guys. What are your Bitcoin bear market price predictions? Like, do you think 15? Do you think 20? Do you think 30K? Because traditionally, when we all think it's going to go to 30K, that might mean it only bottoms at 40K, right? So just have that perspective as well. Look for those numbers when you do enter a bear market. Look for the numbers that every single bear is saying, because that could give you an honest direction.
Well, it was closer to 40. It was closer to 40.
Yeah, I thought it was 38 or something like that. But Josh, you made a good point though. It depends on how high the price goes. If my bull case plays out and we get up over 200K, do a 70% drawdown from there. But if we only go to 120K or 180K or something like that, it could totally change based on the way different nations are accumulating or not accumulating. Real quick, we've got a super chat here from Carlos C. Your thoughts on Aerodrome Finance and how low do you think it will go? Keep up the good work, guys. I know we covered that in a recent video from one of our interviews from Bitcoin Nashville. If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure to do so. We had Lorenzo Alexander join us on that. He had a lot of really good takes, a lot of good on-chain analysis, and it was funny. Everybody was throwing out their deep picks, and almost every single one of you guys said, "Yeah, we
all said Aerodrome.
We like Aerodrome."
Yeah, it's because, guys, Base doesn't have a token, so we're very bullish on the liquidity providers in that ecosystem. Aerodrome's back down to 78 cents here just a little bit, but after jumping from the bottom of 40 cents when Coinbase bought the bottom. So all you guys need to know about altcoins really right now is they're going to follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is really, really high. So if Bitcoin sees a drawback of 2 to 3%, your altcoins are going to see a drawback of 10 to 14%. And that's what we saw today, of course, on the chart. So Aerodrome, I'm incredibly bullish on. I still hold my Aerodrome. I still also have a little bit of Velodrome. But Aerodrome, if I had to choose out of the two, I'm really bullish on Base's ecosystem. I think it's only going to develop stronger and stronger over time, especially that they're so close to USDC and Circle, as well as backed by Coinbase, which has investments from BlackRock, etc. So, yeah, I am bullish.
I got
Aero.
a penny. I'll give you the range. So you can see here, if I go to the full chart for the full price, you see, it was flat and it was boring, and then all of a sudden it started doing some things. So we're going to shrink this so we could focus in on a little bit. This is basically 30 to 40 cents. Maybe 40 to 50. So yeah, 39 cents. And then it goes up to 48.6 cents, so 49 cents, and then back down to 38.5, so 39 cents. This 39 to 49 cent range, let's just call it 40 to 50, right? We got this 40 cent to 50 cent range. I think this is going to be, a really, really good floor and a good level of support. I'm not saying it'll go to 50 cents, but, if you're like, man, I want to buy some and I don't want to feel like an idiot later, I don't think you're going to feel like an idiot buying 40 to 50
And that's
cents.
right around the point where Coinbase bought. So hold on real quick. Let's pause. I'm going to skip. There was an ad about to play on YouTube. I noticed some of you guys are complaining that the ad frequency came up. I've skipped the last two. So what I need you guys to do, since I'm stopping the ads from running, we need to take this 30 seconds real quick and hit that like button. Almost 800 people in here, only 200 likes. Take the ad time. You don't have to miss any of the show. Hit that like button for us. I think that's a pretty fair trade. I just made it so you don't have to watch the ad. Like DZ said earlier, if you're watching on mobile, you take your phone, you rotate it sideways so you can get the full screen, and that's where you'll see the like button. That's the only way I can find to do it on mobile. So if you guys could do that, we'd really appreciate it.
If you're playing, if you're watching on your Oculus, the Oculus, not the Arculus, that is of course, is the Meta product. You got to grab the virtual Sweet Baby Rays and throw it at the thumbs up, and then it'll give us a like that way.
Yeah, we should see those likes jump from 200 to 300 real quick, and I'm waiting to see those things. Some of them are 240, so they're rolling in now. So we appreciate it, guys. I know we do the best we can to cut the ads, but obviously it's YouTube that's serving more. It's
all right.
us.
And everybody, I want you to hit that button till the skin on your finger is raw. There you go. That's your one.
Yeah. And I do want to point out, too, because someone said, what strategic reserve? You're so gullible. Like the good one. Got me here. But guys, I'm somebody that's actually gotten to sit with the senator and actually discuss the strategic reserve. Like, this isn't just one senator. There are dozens of senators, and there is clearly a lot of politicians that want to, make change to our, of course, political spending and deficits in the state. So it is very, very possible if we make it happen and we're vocal about it in chat there. And then that would be obviously very bullish for your bags. And on top of this, guys, we have like clockwork, the liquidity cycle opening back up. The Fed is 100% going to cut rates in September. That is what markets are expecting. Of course, you could see over the halving years, guys, over all the cycles, you have, of course, this 7% duration after the halving before Bitcoin ultimately breaks out. And we are right now at that same exact moment. So September, looking incredibly bullish, of course, for Bitcoin. Might have another month of trading sideways, but everybody expecting massive liquidity to start entering these markets, which is incredibly bullish for Bitcoin, and might mean that we have August and September to be very, very green for profitability coming later into this year. And usually September, October, November, and December are going to be bullish months in our market cycle here. So waiting for that to take out.
We're getting close to the finish line, folks. This 4-year cycle, we're about to hit 12 months left. And so, we're almost at that last quarter of this journey.
Yeah.
And large Bitcoin holders, guys, if in case you're, wondering, the large Bitcoin holders, not the shrimp, are adding over $5.4 billion in Bitcoin just in July alone.
Dang.
So the last time they accumulated this much, large holders accumulated over 84K Bitcoin in July, the highest since 2014.
Nice.
Can we talk about that for a second? The highest since 2014. So you're smart money, guys.
BlackRock.
You're smart money. Maybe. It could be BlackRock. It could be
It's the
Grayscale. It could be,
ETFs.
I
A lot of it's
100%
gonna be the
agree.
ETFs, yeah.
This is still incredibly bullish, as the last time we saw that was in the middle of the bear market of 2022. Of course, the middle of bear market 2019, the middle of the bear market in 2017 before the massive rally into, of course, that December, and all the way back in 2014. So historically, when we see this, we see a bottom of the markets. How does that make you guys feel?
I'm feeling, like I said, we're hitting that part of the journey. And like you said, September, October, November, typically bullish. The last 12 months is the exciting time. And then that's when you start to get that parabolic rally. Bitcoin didn't get exciting until December 2020. And then it ended up being an 11th month roller coaster. We're about to get on the roller coaster. We're on the clickety clack part right now, folks.
Yeah,
so hit that like button if you love the anticipation.
Yeah, I think it's going up very, very well. 2014, obviously, a lot of people think back when you're thinking 2014. That was the last super cycle, so to speak. So this also gives at least strong, I'm not going to say guarantee that we're going into a super cycle or a multi-year bull run, but there's a lot of different indicators that are showing we could be heading towards a bull market that actually supersedes the last two that we've experienced. The 2017 top and the 2021 top, because back in, it's really 2012, 13, 14, and then that huge accumulation of 14, they rode all the way through, 2016 halving, and then, really, really, really good up. So I see a very, very bullish cycle coming here. It's still a lot of big factors at play, but if we see nation states accumulating hard, we're gonna have a very, very good time. And thanks for that super chat, Mac Baby. He's hoping for a Trump win. I'm hoping for a positive win for our crypto bags, and we can definitely see Trump is the one that's pushing pro crypto adoption here in the United States. He definitely seems to care about what we care about. So he says, you'll see your crypto go up and interest rates go down. Let's save America. I agree 100%.
Yeah. And I want to touch on that a little bit too, guys. Like, type 1 in chat if you hold XRP. Right, this is going to be your Johnny Deaton side of the industry, guys, that we are really, really looking forward to seeing in positions of office to just pump your bags, but not just to pump our bags, guys, to really save our economy, to allow us to have positive growth in GDP within the crypto industry inside of the United States. But Blunt's here, Blunt's Capital, finally back from holidays and thankfully didn't miss too much. I think Bitcoin completed a nice clear 5-wave rise from the 54K low that took 24 days, and we're currently only 2 days into the ABC correcting that move. So what this chart is showing here, you guys want a little bit of bearish price action, means we could probably see a little bit more downside over the coming weeks, down to that $58,000 level.
That was the level DZ was looking at. Yeah.
I wonder what level that is, DZ. Do you know what
yeah.
That's the CME gap, baby.
What do you know? Another confluence of numbers here.
Yeah, confluence of numbers here, but 78, that would be a fill of the CME gap. Interesting enough, he thinks we'd go back up to around 68,000 before we go all the way back down to around 60K before moving to higher positions. But no matter what, still bullish long-term here. And I still think, like I told you guys, we've been saying this time and time again, that CME gap, unfortunately, closes 80 to 90% of the time. So this move has been expected here. The anatomy of the crypto bull market, analyzing previous crypto market cycles, helps us understand the current one, says Kelly Yee, head of research at Decentral Park Capital. Although crypto history is short, with Bitcoin celebrating its 15th birthday this year, we've already experienced 3 major cycles. 2011, of course, yada, yada. The short cycle is not surprising given the crypto markets trade 24/7, about 5 times more than the equity markets. Now, this is an interesting chart here as well. Peak altcoin market cap coincides with the Bitcoin dominance bottom here. In both major cycles, altcoins significantly outperformed Bitcoin after an initial phase where the returns were comparable. Crypto, like other risky assets, is highly correlated with global net liquidity conditions, and in the past 2 cycles, global net liquidity increased by 30 to 50%. The market now prices in more than a 95% chance of a rate cut in September, up from 50% in the beginning of Q3, which would mean, guys, for all of you with those altcoins in the chat here, guys, all of you guys that hold altcoins, right? Type W in chat if you want alt season. Type W in chat if you want alt season. I want you guys to see it in comments. If you're on Twitter, guys, let us know in the comments if you're holding altcoins, and let me know what your favorite altcoins are. But more importantly, guys, that alt season is not going to come until liquidity is injected back into these markets. And that's why everybody is excited for an initial rate cut. It actually looks like Jerome Powell is doing something that's unprecedented since, honestly, about Paul Volcker's years, where he is approaching a potential soft landing in these markets. And it's because of the pandemic and all of the differences that we've seen in our economy with inflation and money printing over the last 4 years. we might get positive injection to these markets, which can coincide with upside action in both the stock market and the crypto market moving into 2025, which leads us to, of course, what you guys are going to be most curious about. What is the cycle top for Bitcoin moving into these elections and 2025?
Well, I'm channeling the picture of Paul Volcker right here, and when I see this guy, just sitting there with the stogie, that feels like a $250,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah, and Bitcoin actually falling off a cliff right now. Let's see if it shows up behind you. Move your head a little bit there, DZ. Under 63, we might be dropping into 62 range. It's got a little bit of a bounce here just on the, but yeah, we're low 63s now. Really just fell off. I don't know if you guys have trading view.
Yeah, I have it pulled up right here. Yeah, we kind of, you're in mine here. I'll let you use it.
Oh, my bad.
You guys are both on the same
I got to log out of that one. We got to leave like one of us logged into the other PC here. But what I wanted to show, I can't even show it here because you're on the different candles here, but there is a futures gap between 60,000. I don't even know how to switch it back from, I don't want to mess with your candles here. But there's going to be a futures gap on the daily, guys, between about 60,000, 58,000 and 61,000. So I am still going to be under the assumption that will fill here in the near future, and I'll leave that out so you can have your charts back there for you.
Looking at it, if we just pull it up, yeah, you can see we had that horizontal line that was, kind of moving sideways between them, and it's still in contention a little bit there, folks. I mean, you can see, yeah, we're technically, out of it right there, but we haven't even closed this 20-minute candle. If we go to the 5 minutes, I wouldn't worry too much about the 5 minutes.
Is saying it's over, guys. Man, you should change your name to Cool It Down. But brother, what is firing up right now is going to be the global money supply. It is making new all-time highs, which will coincide with the biggest bull run ever. And it is now starting. Long-term wealth is to be made off the M2 money supply here. You can see we're about to break out to the upside, of course, with more injection of liquidity into these markets. So whether or not the bottom's at 53, 57, 61, wherever that bottom does come in now, I do believe now is the time to start dollar cost averaging into those positions. The last time I bought Ethereum was $50,000 of Ethereum with you guys on this stream at $3,050 ETH. And I do expect a breakout here moving into the next 2 months. My bags are stacked. Let me know if your bags are stacked. But the M2 money supply is starting to kickstart. And on top of this, you now have Hong Kong, one of the largest nation states in the world. Largest online broker, Futu Securities, has launched Bitcoin and crypto trading for retail customers. It is offering zero-fee trading and free Bitcoin rewards for new accounts. So, wow.
Yeah, that's very bullish.
Holy smokes, actually.
I'd have to see, how many people, like, what does Futu Securities app have, or, how many daily active users or monthly active users? These are some of the numbers we need to get, though.
Yeah.
But Hong Kong, largest online broker, I tend to think that's going to be kind of big.
Yeah, and when, of course, Trump announced the potential of a strategic reserve, or at least storing and not selling off that 270,000 Bitcoin, Hong Kong came out, and one of their head bankers came out and said that is something they should actually look up into themselves as well.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a trend start to set here. Grayscale's new Bitcoin mini trust ETF debuts with industry low fees. More and more trust coming out, guys, and more competition in terms of these new financial products. On July 31st, the Bitcoin spot ETF saw a net flow of $298,000. The Grayscale ETF had no net outflow, while the Grayscale mini ETF Bitcoin recorded a net inflow of $18 million, with BlackRock reporting $21 million nearly, and Fidelity with an outflow of over $31 million. So we're about at a break even here, but there is more positive traction than there is bearish action.
You know what I want to do? Because, now the Bitcoin ETFs have added almost 300,000 Bitcoin to their holdings since January. I kind of want to try to find a number, the amount of gold in gold ETFs, and what percentage is that of the entire gold market cap. And then maybe we can find some number, at the end of the line, 10 years now, 5 years from now, where do the ETFs settle as far as the amount of Bitcoin that they try to capture?
Yeah, and here's a chart for you guys that you guys are looking at what DZ's referring to here. There's still a lot of positive traction. So what is this? It's still by far one of the most successful financial products to ever exist, if not the most successful product. So I think we're going to just see more and more adoption, especially as money starts to print more and it's easier to get money from these institutions. Trump is now launching Bitcoin sneakers, chat, after Bitcoin 2024 speech. I actually had the opportunity to hold the artist's shoes here in Bitcoin Nashville.
Now, people say it's photoshopped. You held the shoe.
Oh, I saw the shoes.
Was it a hologram, like a Snoop rapping next to Tupac?
I mean, these are obviously not the actual picture, but they're pretty close to this. I mean,
Okay,
it's the same kind of like shiny
So this
shoe
picture
objects.
isn't, what they actually are, but you actually held them in your hand. It wasn't in a metaverse.
I held the
wasn't in a
same
haptic
designer,
feedback?
so it wasn't the Trump version yet, but it was the same shoe.
Josh,
and so
everyone wants to know,
Yeah.
did you smell them?
did I smell them?
Did you smell the shoes?
No, I didn't. I should have. I should have got a fat whiff.
Or, drink a beer out of it, like
they weren't
Steve-O?
his shoes again, so I don't know whose feet I would have been smelling, but I know DZ loves the smell of feet here. That is some Sack Nasty 86 stuff right there.
I would have drank from it.
2-pump crypto chump. Hopefully he can last longer a little bit so this price of Bitcoin goes higher.
If
but
he's watching,
Sack
if we type
Nasty,
in his name, maybe it pops up here.
is Sack Nasty banned?
I've tried.
It doesn't pop up.
We're looking for this Sack Nasty 86.
Yeah, so I type in @SA and I get Sawtooth and Sababa.
What did Sack Nasty do
I think
here?
Sack has to be watching, but maybe he
Well,
is.
I'm going to ask chat here, guys. I love the 1s and 2s, baby. 1 in chat if you'd buy these shoes. 2, yes or no? Would you buy yes or no these shoes? Yes or no, would you buy these shoes in the chat right now, guys?
No.
Because I would not. I will tell you that. I did not like how they looked in person, but hey, some people want to support. I guess that's up to you there. I'm not spending my crypto on sold out shoes.
The only reason I would buy those, the only reason I would buy those, because you're supposed to spend your Bitcoin, is to sell them later for more Bitcoin.
I mean, imagine having these in mint condition in 40 years.
Oh, that would be massive.
Yeah, like honestly,
you sell them to Barron.
Mint condition.
Barron buys them from you.
Signed shoes here.
I love the name change. DZ's Chrysler 300 was stolen at the airport. Yeah, we had a former colleague of mine accused me of stealing his Hellcat, which is totally ridiculous. And he actually left his keys in the vehicle at airport in Atlanta, one of the largest airports in the world.
Yeah.
Ben Armstrong left his keys in his car. Yeah,
names.
because he's
don't
a
tell
fucking
the insurance
idiot.
company that.
That same individual thinks that apparently my birth certificate is TJ's brother.
You were born in Hawaii, right?
Talk about low IQ.
Born in Hawaii?
Yeah, I guess I was born in Hawaii. We have a separate
Are we going to talk
father.
about his birth certificate now?
Yeah, it's very interesting. But I mean, I guess we have to. It's when, you have an IQ under room temperature degrees, you have to, explain these things to the dumbest people on the planet. But either way.
Look, sometimes you got to make up interesting narratives to stay entertaining.
To stay relevant. It's kind of, but hey, just keep drifting into that irrelevancy here. Ethan Smith with the $5 super chat. Cyberdex or Dex Yieldstone Real Estate RWA. Great plays. Bros in that RWA portfolio, man. I am still looking for Rio and a few of these RWAs. We have them on our radar. We have not jumped into it just yet, but that is because we're waiting for these market conditions to bottom out here. I think it's Chase coming from Gary the Lizard. I have a credit score of 700. Stop bragging, Gary. Stop bragging with your good credit in chat here, man. Can we get some L's for Gary's credit in the chat here? You think you're better than us, Gary? I got that 640, baby, because I just started getting credit actually a year ago.
The parking crew broke in. Or, maybe there's people that are down on their luck and touch every single door handle.
I mean, it was last time I was at the Atlanta airport. They do have a bad issue with cars being stolen there. They even told I was there with Justin Williams and he has a Raptor, and they said basically these Raptors are getting stolen like crazy. They know basically it's an inside job with people in the deck or something like that, and they told us park it right up here on the top in the front, put it in the handicap spot. Even if you're not handicapped, you're not going to get towed. But I think it was like a 2 or 3 day trip. And they're like, yeah, if you could park somewhere else, I would, because these Raptors are getting swept like crazy.
It's Atlanta, Yeah. Atlanta's known for a lot of things, and just being crime free, maybe not be one of them, folks.
No, not one of them.
I want that Arculus hat. You can definitely get it, I believe, on their website. If not, make sure you come see us at a booth.
And if you want the wallet, just use code DC10. You get 10% off. So there you go.
Douglas Bedford here with the $10 super chat. Ticker is long, just like his most insane cat. You guys thought I was going to say something else. Narrative and community I have seen. I do hold so biased.
I don't know if I like the name long for a cat unless it's directly related to their tail. You need some sort of branding there that matches.
I mean, if you're in women's sports, you could have a long... Anyways, I don't know. It was bad. Ex-PayPal executive David Marcus pledged support to Donald Trump here. More and more support here. Eleanor Tourette here, of course, from Fox News, friend of the channel, another former PayPal person, David Marcus, a Democrat, comes out in support of Donald J. Trump. Earlier this month, I wrote about how PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel has yet to publicly support him. Of course, obviously, Peter Thiel 100% backs Trump, as he is the largest, or I would say the reason why J.D. Vance got his vice presidency position there. Can Kamala Harris truly embrace crypto? This, of course, is going to be the largest conversation on Twitter right now. Explains why progressives struggle with the idea of decentralized finance and why he doesn't believe Harris's campaign will shift on crypto. I 100% agree with this minute-long clip here. Listen in.
I don't believe that she will ever be pro-crypto because she is a progressive. When she was in the Senate, she was the furthest left senator by her voting record, and progressives don't like crypto. They tip, I'm generalizing, but they would prefer that the state largely be in control of financial activities for the sake of pushing policies. You can talk about the various forms that takes, but that seems to be my interpretation. And crypto is all about transacting outside the ambit of the state. These ideas around hard money, these are sort of like conservative, libertarian ideas. So I'm not taking the reset concept seriously. I do think they have understood now that electorally this is a losing issue for them, because no one really votes for people because they hate crypto, but they will vote for you because you like crypto. So it's very asymmetric for them. So I think they're kind of trying to panic a little bit and want to see how they can reverse Trump's gains from his crypto embrace. But I don't believe this will be an authentic.
Now, unfortunately, I don't think the crypto audience is that big to actually have that big of a sway on politics. But there is now estimation that's between 1 and 3%, and even upwards of 5% for certain polls that is going to be an overall effect on, of course,
can
voting
we cut
polls.
From Josh's close-up to my screen here with Nick Carter's close-up? Big shout out to how he did. Now to Josh close-up, same eyebrows.
Oh, you
I
want
just
me
want
to
say it. I just
want me
want
to
to
display these bad boys?
A little bit there. So yeah.
I think if I had a mustache, I could probably pull off a Nick Carter impersonation.
Let me just say, I see your stubble up close. It is you got like firm handshake stubble.
Firm handshake. That's good, right? That means I have a decent amount of testosterone.
Yeah, I feel like.
Or are you saying I have a little enough testosterone?
Yeah, you got like
to
the
fight in
old school,
women's
like
sports?
1960s testosterone.
Okay,
Like
so
before they changed the water. Is that what you're saying?
You got pre-changed water tea.
well, it's the Wonder Bread juice I drink every single morning.
There you
So, anti-crypto Gary Peters in the mix as Democratic nominee Kamala Harris's running mate report. Yes, guys, more anti-crypto coming out of that side. Here are the hottest political betting pools on Polymarket. If you want to pull up Polymarket, I would love to see the polls here because we do have an updated electoral map based on Morning Consult. Harris 284, Trump 254 on Polymarket odds, losing against Harris here in the campaign and in these elections coming up. That is polling from, of course, Polymarkets. Let me see what you got.
Yeah, so we got all types of things. We got the winner, the updated winner. We still have Polymarket having Donald Trump narrowly edging over Kamala Harris, but you still have these maniacs trying to get this 100-to-1 payday by just betting on Michelle Obama. You're throwing away your money. It's not going to be Michelle Obama. Now watch it be Michelle Obama. They're going to be rich. They're going to be rich.
They just get rich as heck. Well, Tether reports net profit of speaking of rich, $5.2 billion. And of course, the first half of 2024. Tether also claims its USDT is fully backed and over-collateralized by at least $5.3 billion as of June 23rd or 2024. In Q2 2024, Tether generated a net operating profit of $1.3 billion compared to Q1's earnings of $4.52 billion. Of course, Q1 was way more bullish this year with the spot ETF announcements. But it just goes to show, guys, Tether and USDC is actually going to bring a lot of value to the US dollar because they are backing their reserves 100% generally by US treasuries and bonds. So
people say Tether's going to collapse. Tether's going down. All these things are going to collapse. Tether's making way too much money to go insolvent. I don't think they're doing an FTX where they're just bribing politicians left and right. I haven't seen Tether CEO posing with Maxine Waters. When I see that, maybe that's when I'll worry. But they would have to be doing almost every single thing wrong for them to become insolvent.
I actually trust Tether's liquidity more than USDC. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. And I just spent a few minutes again looking for Sagnasias. I do not see him anywhere on any no-fly list. So I'll keep looking, but
this is pretty false. I'm pretty far left and support pro-crypto. Well, brother, you need to get your party on board with it, my man. Definitely need to get your party on board with it because, it's about deregulate. It's very libertarian. Like crypto's like underlying a libertarian belief. I mean, it's deregulating the government and state here. But Senate committee rejects ban on AI disclosure rules for political ads. Rejects ban on AI disclosure rules for political ads. This is interesting. I think AI is just going to get harder and harder to tell what's different and what's not. This comes after, of course, Elon Musk reposted an AI, it wasn't even that funny, but it was of Harris. It was an AI parody that's been created. And now there's dozens from Trump parodies. There's dozens. Everybody has parodies these days. But it's going to be harder and harder to tell what's right and what's wrong and what's real and what's not.
Have you seen the parodies? Not Sorry, I had to do it, man. You said
Wow.
parody one too many times.
Man,
Wow.
bro is thinking way too much about nuts right now. Senator
Hey,
Cynthia,
you brought up the Olympics, not me.
Yeah.
men and women sports, not never mind. Okay, let's digress. Okay, Senator Lummis here has announced strategic Bitcoin reserve. This legislation would buy 1 million Bitcoin over a set period of time, establish a network of secure Bitcoin vaults, and be funded by diversifying current Fed and Treasury funds here, and affirm self-custody rights. That is incredibly bullish out of Cynthia Lummis in Wyoming here. Elon Musk, get this guy, said yes to fighting Nicolas Maduro, the dictator of course, Venezuela. He challenged Elon Musk to a fight. Elon Musk then responds with, yeah, I'll do it. And he was so scared. You can see videos of him on Twitter now, or X, telling his military to protect him from Elon Musk, because I don't know if he's scared of space lasers or something zapping him. But Elon Musk lives in this guy's head now rent free. Very funny to see that take place.
Did you see Elon's the reward for the victor here?
I know what was the reward.
So here we got Elon Musk. Mario Nawfal did a poll. Elon Musk, his actual account. If he wins, if I win, he resigns as dictator of Venezuela. If he wins, I'll give him a free ride to Mars.
Nice.
Well, that's not too bad here. What is bad, though, is our dad jokes, apparently, according to the chat here. We are so bad today that Bitcoin is actually trying to
I
off
thought
itself.
the parody thing was funny. Excuse me.
Well, who would win in this fight, DZ? We have Elon's accepted Maduro challenge to fight. Who wins in this poll? Over 107,000 people have voted. Elon takes 80% of the win. Maduro at 10.8%. And then the third one is just, what? Half the audience. Elon Musk responds saying, if I win, he resigns as dictator of Venezuela. And like you said, a free ride to Mars. That is really
so
cool.
you got Elon, he's being trained by like an Optimus robot. Then you got Maduro, he's being trained by like a communist. It's going to be fun.
Well, what's not fun is Senator Marshall here having to go after Google, because no more hiding, Google. Your time is up. Time to investigate. Senator Marshall is now launching a full investigation to Google's censorship and bias that is constricting the free flow of information. Google, the largest search engine operator in the world, has become a propaganda wing for the left. No more hiding behind your algorithm.
This is what a
Your
lot of
time
people are
is up
talking about.
here.
I typed in Trump rally. Let's just see what Google pulls up. Kamala Harris rally in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's very biased. Even now on ChatGPT, when you look up Trump era policies, it will automatically take you to Biden
This one's actually really
policies.
bad. I've checked like twice in the past 48 hours. This is the worst I've seen it. Hundreds of Harris for president golf carts roll through Trump's stronghold. Say it to my face. Harris calls out Trump. Kamala Harris challenges Donald Trump. I just typed in Trump rally.
Yeah,
I was just trying to find the next
I'll
rally.
type in Harris rally.
So you're saying it should be like a bunch of Trump stuff, right?
Yeah, it
like,
should be a bunch of Trump stuff, right?
Oh, no. Oh,
Yeah.
So, what do you got here? I can't
We
read that far.
have falsely. So we got Donald Trump, then with a negative connotation. Then we have campaign news with her picture. Democrats will start making process to make her with
Scroll
her
down the
picture.
local news.
mhm.
Yeah,
All
Fair.
Harris.
yeah, it's all her stuff. So interesting to see here. Interesting to see. But I don't think they would ever do that with search engines, right? They would never make them biased.
They said it was a mistake. That was their words.
That was a mistake.
There's
Well, yeah,
been too
because
many mistakes. Like I've seen enough, there's been a lot of this going around. And guys, if you guys don't like the mix of crypto and politics, I can understand that. I for one, hate politics, but I think Josh said it pretty good earlier. Like, remember why you got into crypto or Bitcoin to begin with. I mean, some of it was like, yeah, we think we might make a quick buck. But the more you start learning about Bitcoin, the separation of money and state, like this really is a freedom-based movement. So if you're for freedom, you should be for crypto for the most part. And in my opinion, anybody who's pro crypto is what's going to help move us closer to freedom. I'm always for less regulation, less government. I don't think either side of the aisle is going to be running on, hey, let's have less government involvement in everything we're doing. You're not going to get elected on that. That's my stance. Just get the government out of everything we're trying to do. They make everything worse. I don't care which side of the aisle you're on. However, if we can't get some pro-crypto legislation here in the United States, we will slowly fall down the ladder of world
And just for
dominance.
like the chat to know, like my favorite candidate was by far RFK. He just I work a lot with and around a lot of these politicians' lobby groups. I just know how it works. He has zero shot at becoming president. So it's like, at the end of the day, now you got to choose between two candidates at the end of the day. One wasn't even elected by the people. She was, kind of put into place. And they changed the DNC rules over 60 times against RFK, so he couldn't run for that nomination early on against Biden. So I've just seen, suppression and, of course, this pivot towards censorship that I just don't agree with. I'm very free speech. I'm very free code. I'm very free Bitcoin. And I think right now is a time, again, you have to be vocal about this, guys, or seriously, I mean this when I say this. This is the conversations I'm having with our politicians is crypto will be dead in America. You won't be able to buy and sell and trade crypto without being taxed out the ass and, of course, being monitored and controlled by, different government regulations and censorship policies. So I am all about that privacy. I think an invasion of that privacy is what we're starting to be seeing, and I want to advocate for that.
I do want to give a Google solution. DuckDuckGo has been captured. Some would say let me just say, DuckDuckGo is not as effective as it was a year ago. Some would say it's been captured by, 3-letter agencies. Balaji, he just put out a really, really good alternative solution, and it's called Perplexity. And he's even putting steps to set it as your, your default on Chrome. Tech guys, don't use Google search anymore. It's just censored. It just sucks. Perplexity is better, and you can set it as default. And then it even gives you a little video on how to do it in 30 seconds.
Yeah, shout out real quick to Jackie Dutton in the chat. She says Trump will give RFK a cabinet position. It was really fascinating. And Josh, you would probably get along listening to we had a mixer in Nashville, and her one of the founder or one of the developers or somebody behind the MAGA token and Drew were having a really fun political conversation. A lot of it obviously way over my head because, like I said, I'm not a big politics guy, but they really know their stuff. They really know their history and their dates. And I think that would be an interesting move by Trump to give him a cabinet position. I agree with what you're saying. He won't ever get elected, but it would be a nice move towards freedom, a move towards patriotism, I guess you could say. And that's what I would like to see come back here in the United States. There's nothing wrong with having pride in the nation that you're from and taking pride in what, it's just in my opinion, it's no different than taking pride in your home, taking care of your yard, taking care of your house, having a pride in ownership of the things you invest in is the same as, having pride in your nation. This is where we're from, and there's nothing wrong with that. You see that all around the world. The United States is the only one that gets shamed for having patriotism. And if we could start to bring that spirit back, I think we could still do great things here, and we will.
I don't think people realize what is at stake here. It's guys, if the wrong people are put into positions of power that are anti-crypto, guess what? You're not having crypto on YouTube. You're not having crypto on Twitter. You're not having crypto on Instagram or TikTok. Or
until BlackRock buys it all. And then they'll be like, yeah, your CBDC framing. Well, all of a sudden, crypto's not that bad in this frame.
It will hurt the industry entirely. But what do you got here?
Well, I got George Martinez asked, when are we going to get an avalanche price prediction? How about 7? Is it 7 p.m.? 7 p.m. Probably 7 p.m. tonight. 7 p.m. I got it. I talk about California. I break it down, and I even give a detailed analysis on why it's going to hit the price I think it's going to hit.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Well, whales are preparing for the next altcoin rally. Here's your bullish news for the day, guys. Limit buy order volume for altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, is increasing, indicating the strong buy walls are being set up for your alt season, guys. So again, Liquidity is entering these markets. This is the CEO of CryptoQuant, one of the largest data analytic platforms out there, showing that yes, whales are interested in altcoins, and DeFi is waking up as active loans surge to now $13.3 billion, reaching early 2022 levels here. So get excited, guys. There's a lot of indicators here that are showing us that we are, if not at a bottom, near a bottom. And now's the time to research. Now's the time to not run away, not be scared, as liquidity is opening up back to these markets. And yes, guys, we are fighting for our Bitcoin and our freedom in these elections, guys. There is a lot of bullish sentiment in these markets here. You have one last thing here, DZ.
No, just real quick. Top 15 blockchains by number of daily active addresses. Tron still smoking, but I want to kind of point out some of these other ones. Near coming in at number 2. So good job, Near. Makes me a little bit more bullish there. And Polygonians. I don't even know what that is. Life of Polygonians, Matic Insight. I wonder if they maybe did the wrong tag there and it's supposed to be Polygon. I'm not sure. Yeah, no, it's just Polygon. They did a weird tag. BNB Linea Base. So, but big shout out to Near. Near. Does this feel real, or are they near the line of being something not credible?
There you go. I mean, only time will tell here.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. But there is one last thing I have to cover for the XRP community out there, which is Ripple allocating $10 million to tokenize U.S. Treasury bills on the XRPL. They are opening up and allocating, of course, to these T-bills provided by Open Eden and other issuers here. Ripple will allocate $10 million, guys, to the first issuance of tokens on their platforms. Possible Ondo partnership? I don't know. But what we are seeing is Payments Network Ripple, of course, integrating this to the XRP ledger here. So this will be kind of big. This is coming through Open Labs and a new tokenization platform.
And folks, if you have, this would be the most important 5 minutes of your life. What happens if every country buys Bitcoin? You're probably going to have some relatives like, oh, you know, it's all a scam. Show them this video. Say, no, what's happening? You are not even close to being bullish enough. You have no idea what to expect. Your money's about to be worthless. Go watch that video. DZ drops the alpha, folks.
Thank you so much for joining us today, guys. Smash the like buttons on the way out. We will see you at the damn top. All right? Stick around, guys. Turn on those notifications. We'll see you guys later tonight.